Uh, Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. First and foremost, apologies for the technical issues we've had with setting this meeting up, and whether a number of people who were registered for this event have since dropped off and likely won't join us due to the delays. We've restarted now at 6 o'clock, and I think we'll be happy to run till 7. So apologies for that. And I suspect we'll probably do a separate Meet the Contractor event after this, and I think hopefully some more people will join us. So thank you very much for joining. As I said, this is our Meet the Contractor event with Chigwell Construction. So my name is Jack Nuttall. I'm Assistant Project Manager in the city's housing department, and I've led the procurement for this contract. So I'll just give a quick brief and some housekeeping just to bring everyone up to speed before we carry on. So for the past 18 months, we've been going through the necessary process to construct and procure a new repairs and maintenance contract to replace the existing contract that's with Waits due to expire on Monday. So Chigwell performed best in this procurement exercise and have subsequently been awarded with the contract. And we've had very positive experiences with them so far with the mobilisation, which has been in place since January, and we're very glad to be introducing them to you this evening. So this should be a fairly simple introductory meeting. So we're going to start with some introduction. I'm going to go around those joining us on the call. Then we're going to have a brief presentation from Chigwell just to introduce themselves to you. And then we're going to have an open discussion for any questions from any of those of you on the call. So you'll see that the cameras and microphones have been disabled. That was just to avoid any potential disruption. But when we come to the questions portion, if you have a question, feel free to either raise your virtual hand on the ribbon at the top of the screen, or pop something in the chat or the Q&A function, and we'll get round to it. And this meeting is being recorded just for the purpose of sharing those who are unable to attend. So we'll try and reach out to as many of those people as possible. As I said, we're aware that the technical issues that have taken place. So I'm almost there, but so the purpose of this meeting is to gain a high-level understanding of Chigwell's approach, and equally to relay back again what residents want to see from the service and what they should expect. So whilst all questions are welcome, we can't directly respond to any questions regarding live repairs on this call. The best port of call for that is to go to our repairs desk. I'll be putting their details in the chat in a moment to refer to. But without any further ado, firstly, I'll introduce you to Bev, if you want to take it away.
Thanks, Jack. Good evening, everybody. My name's Bev Andrews, and I'm the Head of Repairs and Maintenance at the City. I joined the City about 6 months ago now, back in September, and quite a lot of my time actually has been spent procuring this new contract alongside Jack, and then mobilising the contract from January with Chigwell. And just to reiterate what Jack has said, I think it's been a really positive experience so far working with Chigwell. The mobilisation has gone really well, and we're in a really good place for Tuesday when the contract starts. Before I hand over to Chigwell to introduce themselves and to do their presentation, I just really wanted to acknowledge the feedback that we've received from residents about the repairs service. And your experiences with the repairs service, particularly, over probably what is quite a long period of time now. And I do acknowledge the fact that some of those experiences have not been overly positive. And I do want to say that this is something we do plan to address through this new contract. Just very briefly to touch on some of the improvements that we are looking to implement. Particularly fewer delays and more repairs completed on time. We've streamlined our repairs priorities, and we set some realistic timescales so that we can actually deliver what we say we're going to deliver. We think this should also reduce the need for cancelling and rescheduling appointments. And so we have our operatives attending appointments as agreed with you and as planned. We think we'll have some improved communications between ourselves and Chigwell and with residents. I think importantly, Chigwell are going to be co-locating with us at the Barbican Estate office. So we're all working together as one team. That should really help with quicker decisions, just better communication all round, and quicker problem solving. We expect more repairs to be fixed on the first appointment and with fewer repeat visits. Chigwell will be directly arranging and confirming appointments with residents, really to ensure that we get the right trade with the right skill set out on that first attendance, and with the right amount of time allocated for the appointment. And finally, improved quality standards. So both City of London and Chigwell, we will be doing a percentage of quality inspection across a broad range of our to ensure that standards are met and that repairs are actually fully completed. And just finally, we're also introducing quite a comprehensive range of performance metrics, more than we've had previously. So that should help us to ensure that all the different aspects of the service are being delivered as we would expect them to be. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Chigwell to introduce themselves. James, do you want to take it first?
Yep. So my name's James Davies. I'm the contracts manager for both Barbican and HRA.
Hi guys, I'm Tom. I'm assistant contracts manager alongside James over both projects.
Jack,
Share your presentation.
Yeah, as a short presentation, I'm not going to bore people death by PowerPoint, but it's just to give a slight overview of who we are as a contractor and what the services we will be providing to you. So as Bev said, we have a dedicated on-site team that is co-located in the Barbican Estate Office and is down by the contact centre. This means that we will be on site at hand to deal with any problems that come in and quickly and efficiently. So myself, and then we have two contract administrators who will be phoning the customers to book in appointments, deal with queries, etc. Jack. So who are Chigwell? Firstly, we're a family-run business, and we pride ourselves on delivering high standards, competitive prices, and most of all, great customer service. Predominantly, we are a repairs and maintenance contractor, but we do have other services that we pride out, and we pride ourselves on having our own teams and not using subcontractors. We prefer to give a pay-and-fits-all service. Jack. So what we pride ourselves in is long partnerships, and as I said, we have a number of contracts where we have what we call long-term clients. So Shepherd Books Housing, 14 years, Wenlock Barn, 10 years, and we're in our second term with Mount Green Housing Association, and we do have other clients that we have not one contract, but after they've onboarded another contractor, we've then gone back in again to do it. The great thing about long-term contracts is that we build relationships not only with our clients but also with their customer base, and it becomes very much a resident-led service, and that sort of familiarity of having a contractor that consistently delivers for their clients. Jack. So the interesting thing is we understand that, you know, Golden Lane, historic listed Grade 2 building. Myself, I've been on the contract now for 6 weeks, familiarising myself with what this entails. We've been working with the incumbent contractor to ensure that we know the materials that are being used. We've been sort of working with the City of London to understand the supply chains we need, the labour resource we need, and making sure that all our teams, when we start on the 1st of April, are aware of the restrictions of working, of the legislation of working on a Grade 2 listed heritage site. Jack?
Yep.
So what we'll do for you, so as I said, we don't use a subcontract base, we use our own in-house teams. We think this provides a much more tailored service. Also, we have much more control. We can use our core trades to deliver the service we want them to deliver. We will also have a handyman person sorting out the whatever is required of that person for the vulnerable based customer call. In addition, where we get high volumes of work, we have also other contractors based in London, so we can pull in resources as and when. And we also have a subcontractor base for like specialist items which we won't cover necessarily. We have dedicated supervision on site, and also we have a 24/7, 365 days service, call out service, so sitting outside of the core hours. As I said, we'll have a dedicated team that will contact you to book appointments, that will be on the phone as and when needed. We will provide you with appointment dates, first point of contact, and phone calls, emails, guided by your preference of communication for reminders of those appointments. We pride ourselves on first time, so we try to ensure that we do the job at first visit. If it can't be done at first visit, we will then tell you why we can't do it at first visit, and then we'll book that appointment in at your convenience to undertake that repair to complete. So again, as I said, Chigwell pride ourselves on listening to what the customer wants and what the client wants, and then delivering a service that we can ensure that it gives a high satisfaction standard. We all our staff are inducted for specifically the City of London. You'll know our staff because we're branded. Our vehicles are all branded. Our staff will wear uniform. We have a code of conduct, and also they will have a ID badge. So please, if they don't provide an ID badge, do not let that operative in, because they will not work for Chigwell. As I said, we have a contractor's code of conduct, and also we will abide by the City of London's code of conduct, and we will constantly remind our operatives of this behaviour. So please, if you see any of our operatives doing things they shouldn't be doing, we're happy to listen and happy to take them to task. But I assure you that won't be the case. Jack? So we, as I said, one of our areas is we will do daily quality inspections. We normally sort of attend when they're undertaking work, so that we ensure that they, one, carrying out work in the correct and safe manner, they're wearing the correct PPE, and they're doing work to the quality standard we expect them to do. So you'll see supervisors turning up at your homes ad hoc. We don't tell the operatives when that's going to happen, because we like to keep them on their toes, so that we can deal with any additionals. We have a training matrix that we're constantly updating all our contractors, our operatives, sorry. So that would be from anything from health and safety to asbestos awareness, working at height, and any other thing that building legislation throws at us. There is nothing that we don't encompass inside of our maintenance contract. So if we can't fix it, we'll know someone who can. So we give a 100% tailored service. So part of our social value commitment to the HRA and to this contract will be looking at apprentice schemes, and we'll be looking for local apprentices. We will look for also a workplace in the office, so not just out with the trades, but to give experience working back office. As I said, with work placements, traineeships, new recruitment on TUPE, and we will host an event normally within the first 3 months of go live. That sits with our RLO, and I basically take guidance from when they say the events are going to happen, but we look to do an event on things. Our challenge would be there's 13 estates, so we have to find somewhere collectively where residents can access that. We also do volunteering hours, so we will look at where we can provide services, and we will take guidance again from residents and City of London, where it may be we need to paint a great area fence in, or an area needs sprucing up, and we will donate 8 hours, so a day a year from staff to help out on the estates. And again, we donations, and we can donate resources and equipment where required. And that's it. Very short and sweet. As I said, we let our service do the talking.
Thank you very much, James. So now happy to open up to any questions. I think has something been put in the chat. Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things in the chat, but if anyone wants to pop their hand up, I can allow them to unmute and ask. So go ahead if you want that. Otherwise, I'll go to the chat. So again, and so I should note, so apologies for any of those who joined midway through that call. As I said, we had some technical issues, and so we'll be sharing copies of the slides and of this meeting recording publicly at the earliest possible opportunity. That was a question from Dawn about getting a copy of the slide, so we'll make sure that everything is made publicly available after this. I can see is that Mercy has their hand raised. I'll just bring you in, Mercy. There you go. You should be able to unmute. Mercy, I hope that's correct.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Amazing.
Pleased to meet you, Mercy.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you for the presentation. That was fantastic. I am a local councillor, as is Anne, who is on the call, and also Dawn, and Gabby, actually, who's on the call. I just wanted to say we're really, really excited that you're coming in. The community on Golden Lane and the Barbican is so engaged, as I'm sure you've been told. So it's really exciting that you're starting. I just wondered if I could ask about, inevitably, with the number of repairs you'll be doing, there might be a few residents who aren't satisfied or maybe have some queries or follow up. What is the process for them getting back to you to say, you've come in, I'm not completely satisfied with this repair, I want to talk to you about it? What is that process?
So initially they would contact us. As we co-locate, they can contact the repair service, or they can contact us directly, either text, email, phone. Where a customer is unhappy about the repair, either myself or Tom will be in attendance, so we will contact that customer. We will go out and understand what is the issue, and then we will put measures in place to rectify that, and then we will ensure at the end of that that the customer is 100% satisfied with the rectification works.
It's fantastic, thank you. And is there how do you assess that the resident is happy with the repair you've done? Do you have a formal process for that, or is it something you look at the end of a specific period?
So there is a customer satisfaction, and I think that's driven by the City of London. So I'll let Beverly sort of explain that one.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, when a repair is completed, that should trigger a satisfaction survey to be issued, which I think, we'll double check, should come out through a text message. I think it can be received by email as well. So that one is really around the repair that's been done, not so much to do with the service as a whole, but so for that last repair, and it will ask some key questions to ask for satisfaction, and then we receive those results back, we review them, and obviously anything that's scored less than what we would expect, we use that for feedback, try and understand why somebody's not happy. Does it need a callback? Is it something else to do with the behaviour of the operative that we need to follow up on? So that is the method for individual repairs, and then separately to that, we do a broader satisfaction survey separately, which looks a little bit more of the service as a whole.
Fantastic, thank you very much. That's brilliant.
And just to add to that, we are committed to meet and visit 100% every dissatisfied customer or complaint. So there will be a tailored on-site member of staff will come and deal personally with that, meet with the customer, and listen to what the dissatisfaction was, so that we can understand how to put it right.
Amazing, thank you.
I've got a question from Terry in the chat here, saying, I'm not sure if this comes under your department, but are there any plans to replace the windows on the York Way estate as the double glazing has blown? So Bev, I don't know if that's one potentially for you.
Yes, and so I don't know that it's part of this contract. I think this falls more into our major work realm. I will double check that though. So if I could just take that one away.
Yeah, so our remit would to undertake ad hoc repairs on windows, not sort of full component replacements. But we would report back to the City of London where windows were beyond economical repair, or were in such a state that whatever repair we did, we felt we could not do that sufficiently to fix the problem.
So I don't know, Terry, if you had anything further to say on that, feel free to raise your hand. If you did, I'll give you a second if you wanted to come in on that. Otherwise, we will go to Dawn. I'll just allow your microphone. There you go. When you're ready, Dawn. Dawn, are you able to unmute?
I'm talking. Hi, James. Tom, nice to meet you. I'm a councillor, but I'm also a resident of Golden Lane Estate. So I've been on the back end of poor repairs for a long time. So just what I've picked up sounds like a breath of fresh air. Mine's a really easy question for now, but you said that residents can either report through the repairs contact details or via you directly. We had that information sent out to residents, or is that going to come? How will that be advertised so that everyone knows?
So the reporting of the initial repair will be through the City of London's repairs desk.
Right.
Once we make contact with you, then that's when you can engage back with us. So regarding that repair, so if you have any queries regarding the repair that's been raised by the City of London, we will then deal directly with yourselves.
I see. So you just cut that layer out. That's great. Okay.
I'd be aiming as well to add to James. I'd be aiming as well to try and come out the best I can the first few weeks at least, to come and visit and have another look over stuff if I need to.
Bev, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, just probably to reiterate what James has said. So yeah, so initial repair reporting is still through the usual channel, by telephone or by email, to our repair service desk on the City of London contact details. As I say, at that point we will log the repair, so we'll take the details of that. But I think the key changes at the outset is that we will we'll pass that job to Chigwell. It will be Chigwell then contacting the resident. We're setting a target within 2 working days to make that first appointment, and we think that will really help to get that first appointment right, with the right person going out, the right skill set, say the right time allocated to that first appointment. And really it's in Chigwell's hands at that point. So once they've received that job, they will take over the management of that. There will be some interactions inevitably between ourselves and Chigwell. There might be some things that might need approval, or they may need to ask our advice. And this is where the co-location, I think, will really come into force, because it will really help speed up that kind of communication. And I think, just to reiterate on the last point about if someone was unhappy with the quality of the work, as I say, that can be reported through both channels. So to our service desk, you can log it in that way, in which case we'll generate a quality inspection to be undertaken, or you could make initial contact with Chigwell. But either way, we would make sure that that's registered in our system, and we do the follow-up action to that to make sure that it's closed out properly.
Okay. Can I just, not to put a dampener on it, but some complaints that we receive are because of the help desk itself, and I know that's their city. So I think we need to work, to make sure that any hiccups are smoothly, because we wouldn't want that to reflect on Chigwell, obviously, as well, because we do get a few complaints about the actual help desk. Sorry to put a bit of a dampener on that, but
and actually, if I can jump in on that one as well, I think as part of this mobilisation and taking on that sort of feedback, as you say, Dawn, it's not just specifically around the contractor, it's about what we are doing as well as the city, the service that we're providing. So I think the mobilisation, it's given us a really good opportunity to reflect on our processes and look at things that aren't working very well. So what I can say, it's part of this service improvement. We're really looking at this from all angles. So from the point that somebody makes contact with us, that first experience when somebody picks up the phone, even how long are they waiting for their call to be picked up, and what that experience looks like really all the way through the journey. So we totally take that on board, and that's an area that we're currently working on to try and bring some improvements in that area as well.
Great, thank you, Beverly. Sorry, I've got the RLG. Thank you.
I can see that Nikki is typing the chat, so we'll give a minute for that question. But Mercy, so I think you can see your hand's gone up. I'll just allow you to unmute. I think you able to?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, fantastic.
I just had another 2 questions actually, which was, it's amazing that there'll be a handy person around. When does that person start on the estates?
You want me to jump in and take that one initially, and you might add to it, James. So as part of the contract, we have got provision for a handy person. I think we knew this was something we couldn't implement from Tuesday, from the 1st of April. There was some other really core things that we've got to get in place, get the basics right. But we have we've opened up a discussion about what the scope of that service might look like. It's really, obviously, it's important that we understand, we have a clear definition of what that person would be doing, and that we make sure that we get the most out of the service in terms of, their productivity. We need them to be productive and doing as much as they can. So we've just kind of opened up that discussion internally, but I think this is something we can probably take some suggestions and feedback from residents on as well, so that we can start to build the scope. But I think the intention, really, as soon as we can implement this, we will, but we just need to make sure that it's been properly defined at the outset. James, I don't know if you want to add to that at all.
Yeah, I think it's important to tailor the service to what residents need, but that's not to say that if anything is needed now, that we won't act on it. So if there are things that sits within the handyman service that we're not aware of, we will pick that up with our core operatives until we define what the handyman service looks like and what residents will benefit from that.
Fantastic, thank you.
Sorry, did you say you had another question, Mercy, or was that the one?
I had another question that came who's asked me to ask whether you're using apple wood. I don't know what that is, but I've been sent it. Does anyone know what that means?
They were a subcontractor under Waits, I believe.
Cool. And I believe you said in the presentation that you don't use subcontractors. You'll be using teams. Fantastic. Thank
Will
you.
be anything specialist that we have to seek out to the rest of the market, then we will, of course, consult and use appropriate people.
Brilliant. Okay, cool.
But
Thank you.
our main objective is we use sort of fully employed Chigwell operatives. I think this allows us then to have more control over the service we deliver if they work directly for us, and we look to employ the best that we can, and they go through a very, very stringent skills set matrix to ensure that they can undertake every repair that they deem to do efficiently and effectively. And we're constantly monitoring what they do and the services they provide, and we're always looking for feedback as well. So we can only improve where we listen to the services that people are receiving.
Fantastic. That sounds great. Thank you.
Before I go to Terry, we just got a question in the chat from Nikki saying, will Chigwell be doing the repairs regarding the new heating system at Middlesex Street Estate? Bev, I should...
No, we don't touch M&E. So that would be with the M&E contractor.
Yes, yeah, that's a great point. So we still retain our gas contract, which is separate with TSG for gas and heating and hot water. And I appreciate there's obviously with Middlesex Street in particular, I think that there are some other issues around that. But yeah, that's a really good point. Just to reiterate that Chigwell's scope here is our general repairs and maintenance. And as I say, but it doesn't include things like gas.
With my commercial head on though, but we do have a gas servicing on our services. We do provide them services. Just so you know, Bev.
Looking for the future.
Okay, Terry, I'm just going to let you in 1 second. Okay, when you're ready, Terry.
Hi, lovely to meet you all. My question is just going back to the handyman part of it. Is there going to be a handyman at every estate, do you think?
We're starting off with one across the service. So that's what initially the contract makes provision for. For my understanding, as I've not been at the city too long, but I think this is a new thing for us. So at the moment, we just want to sort of start small, if you like, make sure that we kind of get the service right. It may well prove itself that we may need to expand it to something bigger. But I think at the moment, we just want to start small, get that sort of service working as we expect it, we think it should do, covering the right types of repairs. And if it proves to be successful, then there's no reason why we can't look to, say, expand the scope of that over a period of time.
Okay, thank you.
Were there any other questions? I'll allow anyone to raise their hand or pop anything in the chat. I can't see anything coming through. So we just give it a minute. Oh, Mercy.
Sorry, this is my last point. Actually, I noted the 8 hours volunteering that you mentioned, which is amazing. There are lots of like local days run by Galera, which is one of the residents' associations, where they go around and get everyone together, and everyone goes around the estate to kind of audit where the repairs issues are. I was just flagging that as something that might be interesting as like a voluntary thing. So yeah, but yeah, thank you.
We're open to any ideas whatsoever. We were speaking before with a few residents. My background, I used to be a professional tennis player. I've done a lot of outreach programs and everything for kids getting into sport. So I'm thinking personally, maybe we can look to do something with the community in that sense, maybe something like that, something different, perhaps.
Amazing. That sounds fantastic.
Just an idea. We are thinking about it.
Cool.
As I say, on any other existing programs, for us, we offer you the service, the 8 hours from our teams and our staff, and you just put us to work where you want us to go to work.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. Well, if there's no further questions, like I said, apologies that this meeting had to start a bit later due to the technical difficulties, but as mentioned, we will make every effort to share a copy of the recording of this session, which I think have been very useful. Make sure that any other questions that we've received get answered, and that a consolidated document can go out to as many residents as possible. But I thank everyone for making the time this evening, attending and asking your questions. I think we all look forward to Chigwell starting on the 1st of April. So thank you all very much.
Thank
you, guys.
That's great.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.